picket fence, a beautiful family. Wherever you are, when awake, I'm gonna find you, love you.
Yeah, they call me Dallas, baby. She was brown skin, 5'3", long hair with hella ass, toasting on.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. That's right, your weed is rolling. Another episode of the Path of Brotherly Love, where you follow me and my big brother Sean on our journey and our interviews through our new podcast and documentary on my big brother holding me down while I'm in prison. That's right, I'm locked up. I did something stupid, but God forgive me, and we keeping dreams and hopes alive. Now, I mean, our last episode, man, was random, man. Shout out to Nate Hamburg. But this episode, we bring it to you all the way from Philly, all the way from upstate, my brother Slick Rick. That's right. Not Slick Rick the Ruler from New York, but Slick Rick from Philly. And he do plays and shows. I mean, I met Slick Rick that so long ago. Like I was rapping, and he had his own studio. He just was doing it all, driving a nice Mercedes Benz. And him and my brother was real close, and they always stay close. And they kept their relationship, they've been true. And he's been evolving. He's always been evolving, moving up, and like moving forward. He never got stuck, you know what I mean? So I got mad love for Slick Rick, man. He's family now. And I want to say thank you personally, Slick Rick, for holding it down. I'm sorry, misfortune. It wasn't what it was that got me here. So I'm apologizing to you and all my other supporters. I know Slick love me, but I know you understand. And I'll be out soon. Like, this show is to keep dreams alive. And there's people in jail and there's people outside of jail. And we got love for them. You know what I mean? So once again, shout out to Slick Rick. And there's blessings. Much power to you, man. And don't forget, man, if you check the end of our show, we have a cash app that y'all can send money if y'all got the emotions. Check out books. We're going to be bringing this to you. We're going to pay the years. We're going to do all that. So, once again, the Path of Brotherly Love podcast documentary. We got mad love for y'all. Over and out, man. We love y'all. Path of Brotherly Love podcast documentary. Over and out. Skip Rick, love you, baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Path of Brotherly Love featuring ShawnPurnell and Randy Purnell. And today's special guest is world-renowned entertainment CEO, manager, executor, everything you want to call it. Rick Watson. He does his thing. He went from plays to movies, and he's going to do whatever you let him do. He believes in himself. And I want him to tell you how it all began.
Wow, that's a great introduction. Just so y'all didn't know, I ain't pay Sean to say all that. Good brother of mine. I appreciate what he said. What's going on, Sean?
All right.
You want to know how Rick Watson started everything?
Yeah, how did it all begin? Because it was a seed before it came to this awesome blossom that we see now today.
Yeah, I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed on this over 20 years now. Yeah, well, again, my name is Rick Watson. I'm a playwright / filmmaker / songwriter / entrepreneur. Wine, I got a wine line. I got clothing line. I got what I doing? Greeting card lines, just new, called Treasure Moments. But how it all started it's funny. I was since I was a kid, I always had an entrepreneur spirit. So when I was 12 years old, I was hustling and buying clothes, discounting, and putting tags on it from Macy's and going into bars at 12 years old, put higher prices just to make money. I would start by selling clothes in there, saying half price and putting the prices up to go half price. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit about me, even since I was young. So as I got older, When I was young too, I never liked it to play with toys. That was odd to me. I thought from a kid. And at the time, I didn't think it was odd. But later, as I thought about it, as older, I always used to want to create. So I would start with um, drawing people and cutting them out and making lives to them. So I would have paper people that I draw because I could
Okay.
draw or cut them out. Got headboards for them in my house. That's their houses. And make cards out of rice rolling boxes and all that kind of stuff. I even got my little brothers connected with it. Third floor was the community, the neighborhood downstairs. The first floor was downtown. So I never wanted really to play with toys. I would make things and create them and start doing it. And at the time, as I was getting older, I thought it was strange and weird. But coming up through my community later as I got older, I found out later it wasn't. And I'm gonna tell you how. When I first started off in my community, I got caught up into the streets, and getting caught up in the streets uh, got me at some point to do some jail time. I was very flourished in making money in the streets because I wanted to leave home like 16, 17 because my mom would let me have girls now, so I was on my own quick. And when I got on the streets, I got caught up with, hustling real hard and wound up going to jail. And you never say jail is good for you, but the reason it was the best thing for me is because it gave me time to think and figure out who I am. Because I was raised by some great parents, really great parents. Sent us to Catholic schools and all. But then when I got incarcerated, it gave me time to figure out who I was. So I was down the whole 90s. I met this guy named Sean in there. He still owe me some money, I think. Commissary. So not sure. I think commissary. But anyway,
Now,
we're gonna leave that conversation alone for another time. No, but
yeah.
when I was there, I got to the position that I searched. I was searching who I was, and so I used to always create. So I don't know what something made me start writing short skits, and then they wound up being something came in good when I got shipped to Camp Hill because the church needed some short spiritual skits, and I literally had some all the way until that pastor left, which was ironic. And then I started writing, full scripts and plays and all, and couldn't stop. And then as when I even started putting something on when I was in jail. So when I came home, that's when I understood that the things I used to do when I was a kid wasn't strange with making people and lives and skating. I even made skates for them back then. Put skates on them and put them or skating them around, made a skate ring. I always just wanted to create. But when I realized in jail like that, I said that was part of my creativity then. Being a kid was part of my creativity. Being able to create things and lives. And when I was in jail, I came up with business plans and ways I'm gonna do this. Even though everybody, of course, thought I was crazy. Come on, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no resources. I said, God will make some kind of way for me. So I stood on that, and then when I got home, I have now my production company, and it's been 20 years, 21 this year, that we've been doing it. I done toured around the whole country doing stage plays, hiring celebrities, being in them. I've got a couple films out. Got a TV station now. I'm streaming my own station instead of getting my stuff because my catalog is so big now that it's streaming on Philadelphia Radio TV, and you can click on Rick Watson TV to and subscribe to it, and then you can see my catalog of work, which we're still loading up on there. And then from there, just to give you a little bit more insight to when I came home, how I was raising money to be able to do this. I never was going to go back to the street life, because I felt like getting time away, it showed me how much people was damaged through that world, and being spiritually found, going away and getting a connection with God. I knew that I was not going to go back to that at all. It was over, totally over. So I came home doing little things. First thing I needed was to make an impression to look like I had money stashed away when I was broke, as I don't know what. So I came home and I started. First thing one of the things I did, I went to a car dealership. I told the car dealership, hey, I want that Mercedes right there. So how much? I got the price of it. I said, it was a used Mercedes. I said, all right. So what I'm gonna do is, because me again putting my tactics together, how I work. I said I want that car. I said, I'm gonna give you a couple of dollars down on it, and what I want you to do is I'm gonna work for your company. And I said, don't worry, you ain't gonna have to pay me cash. What I want you to do is every time um, I'll be subcontractor. I said every time I sell a car, you how much would you give me for it? He told me how much you would give me on different prices and how much they would be. I said, okay, now every time that I want you to I sell a car, I'm I want you to double it in credit. And he like, double it in credit. I said, yeah, double it in credit and put it on that Mercedes. So that means if you got to give me $1,000, make it 2,000 and put it on the credit. You agree with that? Then I'm gonna go out here and try to get some things. He said, okay. So I went about telling everybody I got a car dealership. It was income tax time. I knew. I put it in my head. Income tax time. Telling everybody to go down there. Had that Mercedes Benz out in about 2 years. I mean 2 years. 2 months. About 2 months. I don't even think it was a whole 2 months, because I got enough credit to get off that lot. It was just a 190 Mercedes, but it was part of my marketing in my head that I'm gonna have this car to look good, because people want you to look like you got something. So I used that car riding around the city and had people buying what you call them things. And after the guy got there, I stopped sending people there to even sell cars no more, because my next mission was, so what I did was I put an ad in the paper and said moving company, and I forgot the name I used. I said beat any estimated prices. People calling up, you got to come with estimated price. I beat it. Go get a U-Haul truck, put a team together, and start moving stuff again.
Wow.
I had also I was buying. I seen that Lowe's had a sale on which coms, so I don't never let money sit. Lowe's had a sale on freezers. I think it was under $100. Those lift up freezers. It was buying some of them and taking them around to people and telling them people where I knew had kids and stuff, or in their neighborhoods, and putting it on the outside of their houses. Put a water ice thing on the front of it and was selling them. I was making at least $200 a day on each of those ice things. Water ices. Put it around, going and getting it. So that's a couple other things I did as far as that. But everything was legit that I was doing. I wasn't doing nothing illegal. And then I was pumping it into, started doing showcases. Made the artists make money. They would sign up. I started getting agents. So I told agents, if you find me somebody, some people, I need some talent through the city. You find some talent for me, you get paid $10 commission every time I sign somebody up. So guys was running around and people was running around, young people just finding talent, bring them to me. So the $10 registration fee they had to get with me to get my showcase goes to them. So there was one guy trying to make $100 a day. He was running, getting it. So now I got the talent, and I was making sure I get a lot of groups, because they got more people in the dance groups. And I started a showcase called Stars of Tomorrow. I started doing the showcases through the city. When I was doing them through the city, for the criteria to be in it, you used to have to sell tickets and make the percentage off. So I was giving 30% ticket sales. I told them at the time tickets probably only $10, so they make it $3 a ticket. So I had groups and dance groups, and everybody's making money. So everybody's hustling to sell everybody. Because for $100 for a young person is good if they can get that much, or if they never. So if I get 20 groups each time, I was getting what's that? If they sold just 10, what's that? $700. If it was 10, so that's $1,400 if they sold. If the 10 groups or 20 groups sold, I believe is, I don't know, but the number is out there, and I was using that flipping. Then I had found out another way to make it work. I said, you know what, Urban Expression. I keep seeing this on TV. I found out who the producer was and went to him, found him, Shelly Shell. When I went to Shelly Shell, I said, listen, Shelly Shell, I see you be doing that word on the street. How much is it going to cost me to bring word on the street to my show? Now, okay, she said what it was. I said, all right, I'm doing it. They came, I said, now you come and be in the showcases. You're going to be on TV, on Channel 48, Urban Expression. They were so excited. So she come and do the word on the street. So everybody's on TV now. They get themselves TV. So all that was most of the steps that I was doing to build to doing theater. So came in March '99. So by 2000, I shot my first film, and I did it with a high-end camera. I knew somebody had a camera, and we shot a film. And it's still classic day. You can watch it on what you call them, on YouTube. But it's on my streaming channel too. It's called Genocidal Behavior. It's a film I wanted to do, the first film I ever wrote actually, about the street life that I come from, but I didn't want it to just be a glorification of the streets. I wanted to show how, it's genocide against each other. But you can go on YouTube, Rick Watson, Genocidal Behavior, and check it out. And so I did that, and then I started doing plays. And everybody was telling me I can't do it. I remember I spoke to even some people that has achieved some things in Philly, like I think one of the guys, my buddy, Monty G. I don't know if y'all know about Tough Crew back in the day. He said he used to talk about me behind my back, man. He used to leave me. I'd be like, we're crazy. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing, all that. And that's my man. I love him to death. Still love him today. But I appreciate that he came and told me that after I made it and said, yeah, made it, accomplishing some things. So then he came back to me and said, Rick, man, I always was saying, man, how you crazy? What you gonna do? How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? And so anyway, I established everything, came along really well, started doing plays. The first one, I started off doing plays that I wrote when I was away. And then I finally got to the point, I started in '04, the Freedom Theater, I believe. Then I kept pushing to doing them. Then I finally got to the Miriam Theater, needed a celebrity though. Got some people to lend me some money and everybody. My first, so I got money for my first showcase too. Not only was I doing the other things I was telling you, my nephew just, I knew he had money. He's a businessman, doing houses. He just lent me some money. I said, nephew, I'll get it back to you. As soon as the showcase was over, I made some nice money. I tried to give him his money back. He said, "I'll keep on flipping," and that was the greatest thing in my life. He probably know he in my pocket now, so whatever I make, I got to do something. No, I'm just playing. I always tell him, though. I had my 20th anniversary. He gave me love. But anyway, after I did that, the first showcase, and then I kept flipping, and then like I said, I started doing the plays in '04. So it was 2002, I think, because when I did the first movie, and the showcases and doing all the businesses from 2000 on up. Then by '04, I started doing the plays, and then I started doing celebrities. I just started finding ways to get celebrities in my productions. I reach out to people, find out how to get in contact with different people, and find a way, hiring from different things, try to make it fit my budget. I just need you to come sing that hot song in my thing. I'm hire all the radio personalities and get them to host it. So when I did all those things, it was working, and I was stacking. And after stacking, then I'm here today on one of the greatest podcasts / interview channels there is right now with Shawn. And that's the gist of my career.
Now, what I found out some kind of way you used to be in the music group back in the day.
Oh,
how was that all about?
I didn't even talk about that. Yeah. Well, that was before.
How was that?
How did that work? Was before I even ever went away and got caught up when I was young. That's I'm glad you brought that up. I was with. I always think I'm doing something. So my cousin Mel Kwame, he had songs he was doing. He was saying something about his things. He kind of wanted. I think he wanted me to be a part of it. But I wound up being a part of it. I don't remember exactly how I got to the point of being approached about it. But I think he needed somebody, and this was back in the days before that. So this was like anywhere between 89 and 91, or 88, 90 to 90, 91, because I went away. So he knew that I had a couple of dollars, so I invested into the music thing. It was called art. I came up with the name, everything. I had the name. I was the choreographer. I choreographed the moves, everything. I was always into stuff like that. So he got me on team, and then I went everything half on records. So I pretty much own most of half of the because you pay for it, you own some of it. So we back then we went into the studio. Got everything recorded, had box and box of records. We used to call RPM. I came with the name RPM because it was HR names, and I thought it sounded like a good name for revving up, like car RPM. So it was Rick, me, Paul, who was rapping it too, and Mel. So me and Paul did background vocals. I did all the background vocals, and I did all the ad-libbing words through it and things like that. And one of the songs I used to perform when we do live shows was, because our two hot songs was Show You How to Love and This Girl, which was my favorite as a ballad. And anyway, when we started that, I used to sing solo, to have a solo song to sing on from a BBD, that record, When Will I See You Smile Again. So I actually used to
Hmm.
sing that. One time I was singing in the gym in the penitentiary, and the guy said, "Damn, you can sing, huh?" I thought that was too soft, so I said, "Y'all ain't gonna let y'all hear me sing no more." So anyway, but I used to do that too. RPM, yeah, yeah, that's classic stuff there. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's how that came about.
So you saying from time you were young, you had a entrepreneurship type mentality. You wanted to make a couple of dollars extra. You didn't see yourself really working for somebody else. You always had that mindset.
Yeah, I did, and unfortunately, in our communities, uh, sometimes, most cases, and it's not a racial thing, they don't make resources for us. We have to jump through so many loops to try to do it. You go to the bank, they tell you you got to have credit. I'm trying to build credit. That's why I got a business plan to give me the money so I can start stuff. But anyway, I don't make excuses though. So that's why at one point I got caught up in the streets, and that's why when I came home, I wish I would have took it that way first. Because when I came home, I never got any resources from anybody. I just scraped, borrowed, and did everything I did to make and get done what I needed to accomplish. So yeah, yeah, I always had entrepreneurship. I never, when I went and worked for FYE when I came home, uh,
Right.
I worked for FYE. I was in 30th Street Station. Then I was down. What you call them? They used to always. I was one of the. I always try to be the best at what I do. I was like the best salesman down there. They tried to make me be uh, supervisor, manager, all that stuff. Even the district managers come down like, "What do you do?" I mean, I just do what I do. I was winning so many
Right.
prizes for the weeks. I was just getting it to the other people. I never do stuff to become a worker for somebody. The reason I was there, I was on parole, and I wanted to learn so much. So I wouldn't even take a raise when they would give it to me. They were trying to give me a 50 cent raise, $1.50. That would have made me want to stay stuck because I'm worrying about what they're going to give me in order to make my life content. Then I'll look up 20 years later and I'll be like, what the freak? I've been working for somebody all this time. So I always had entrepreneurial spirit. So they would think I was crazy. They'd say, yo, it's time for raise. You won't be saying nothing. And I say, I don't want nothing. You can keep it. It's okay. Keep your raise. Because I knew that if I sacrifice um, what I wanted to be, then I'm going to stay a slave to a job. So for me personally, I just didn't want to do it. So like I said, I definitely was always an entrepreneurial spirit. And so when I worked with FYE, like I said, I just turned down everything that they tried to come to me with. I wanted to learn everything. Why do they put stuff on sale and put it right here? When it's on sale, when it first come out, why it be on sale? Well, this because they had a program called the WINS program that they teach you to utilize in your mindset and sales and doing things. It's WINS, WINS. Welcome, inform, note, and suggest. I learned that to the T. So I was taking things and finding things in there to apply to what I want to do. Because one of the things that I felt, this don't mean it stands for everybody, is that a lot of people was in positions with these jobs because they moved in fear. I didn't
Right.
never move in fear. Fear is an obstacle that fear is something where God tells us to stay away from. So if I move in fear, I'm not going to accomplish nothing except for um, the little bit that's there for me. So I don't limit myself. And I'm also a person that money don't make me. I make money. When you change
That's
that
right.
concept, about your life, you will put yourself in a position to win differently. Because everything, I don't want to make it like you got a job that ain't winning. You got a job, you wake up, you take care of your family. Of course, it's a win. But for me, I want to win different. I don't
That's right.
downgrade working. I don't downgrade anything. I just always encourage people to look at it through a different lens. If you look at it through a different lens, then you will put yourself in a position to win different.
That's
And
right.
for me, winning different was for me because I was a person that wanted to have something for my legacy stamp that says that not only was I here, but that my generations can see and embrace and do it and understand that they have the ability to go further than what they see in their own eyes.
Right. Right. And the fear aspect, That's real, because the word said God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. But all that stuff, when you think about it, coincides why we don't step out and do our own thing when God's given us the ability to win. God, I'm using your word now.
I use my
God gave
word.
us the ability to win. He gave us the ability that uh, we can accomplish whatever we choose. But like you said, it's fear. One way or the other, it's fear that's stopping us
Of course, people
from
not going
going
to say
out
it is.
there.
People going to use excuses to say why, but it's fair, and it's okay. I mean, people don't get it twisted. Like I said before, I'm not taking away from people that have jobs. I don't want it to seem like I'm putting my in a position where people that have jobs are irrelevant or something. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is that if you know that you have a gift and you found it and God gave it to you, why not expand on it? Why do we
That's right.
say I love God. God is everything. God got me, and I'm gonna get through it. But in the back of their mind, from the subconscious mind, because a lot of times we consciously we'll say we can do and be anything we want. Subconsciously, we don't believe that because sometimes you are people that's programmed to believe that if you go a different way, it might not work. They never will say that job might let me go. They'll just say what I want to do might not work. That's fear.
Right.
I don't fear
That's
nothing
right.
but God. I don't fear nothing
And,
but God.
and the crazy thing about it is I think the fear is subliminal to the point where you don't identify it as fear, but it is.
Of course.
And something you said to me not long ago is it's by your actions that tells what you really, really want or really, really do. Because if you really, really wanted to do your own business, you will be doing your
You
own
would do your
business.
own business.
You
What's
know,
stopping you?
and that's right.
Society
That's
makes you
right.
believe that is something stopping you. Society makes you believe you need them. Contrary to popular demand, nobody on this planet ever invented anything but black people. And that's no disrespect to no other race. You know, what they
Amen.
did is they made the patent shop. You think that they actually made
Amen.
plows and all that to be easier back in them days for us to make it easier? No, we invented everything. You think that even to the point where they gave us scraps to eat, took it back from us, and when they asked us how we make it, then took it back from us and put it in the supermarket and called it scrap. You gotta understand the idea of the world. The world is what God gave to you, me, and everybody else. What they have in society, that's why you don't see apple trees and buffuna trees. They take everything, put it in the supermarket, and make it contaminated because there's no money in you being well. And this is not a knock against nobody. I'm just telling you what it is. It's not like I'm trying to be this guy to be Mr. Political and all that. I just want people to understand and look at things different and understand that their destiny is in their hands. Don't go through.
Right.
Nobody's a failure until you ain't got a chance again, and then if you went away and then you pass away, people wake up in the jail and all that. You ain't no failure. How can you haven't failed? You woke up again and got another day, got something going on. If you do nothing with your life at all, then you can say I failed. Now, if you got a job all your life, you didn't fail. Of course you did. You paid your bills and took care of your family. But my thing is to always go higher because we're all made and created to be great at something or in something. And when you're made to be great in something, the only reason that it's not being fulfilled from the side that you really want it to is fear, because people fear man over God. If you
That's
take the
right.
position of and in this box right here and say, well, I can't do it because I look this way as a wall there, I look that way as a wall there. So all you're doing is saying to yourself, you live in fear. Now, if you take that block down out of your mind, everything around you is open. Look how much clearer you can see on the other side. I can see that side. I only see what it is. I don't see what society projects or tells me that's not there. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? Because at one day, you know, we keep saying that it's all about God and situations like that. Then make it about God and just go and move forward on what you want to do. If you never take a leap and keep being consistent when that other job is out the way, how can you ever accomplish anything if you're doing it? I
That's right.
literally looked it in the face. They try to give me raises. I'm telling you, I told them no.
That's
I wish
right.
I could get an interview on them. They'll tell you, Rick Watson, yeah, that dude never take a job. All the Jamaican ones, managers, everybody tell you he would never take a raise. Because
That's right.
I'm not going to be the reason. Well, I heard when I was watching what you call 'em, I loved that. I was watching one time the New Edition story, and one of the times um, the lead singer, what's his name?
Ralph Tresvant.
Yeah, Ralph Tresvant said to he's going to do another project and all, and then Ronnie was like, "What we going to do?" And Mike said, "Man, he's not going to be the reason for my success, for us to eat." That took
That's
faith to
right.
say. Ronnie was in fear, like, "Oh, if somebody don't do it, then what we going to do?" He said, "I ain't going
That's
to
right.
depend on him," and they wound up being a multi-platinum selling group. But if they didn't
That's
go out on
right.
faith and keep pushing, or somebody in that space pushed them that hard, that's why anybody in my space, I always push them. Now, if they take it and do it, then that's on them. If they don't, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You can't force a man to, all you can do is show a man to what they say is something. You can only show a man how to fish something or eat, or you can't. It's not about that. It's about fear. Nothing in our lives
Right.
is not centered around fear. It is so many people that fear life that they're stuck. And they're stuck
That's right.
because they choose to. God made us in his likeness. We can make a choice. Animals live off instinct. I choose to stay stuck. I choose to live in fear. Guess what I choose?
That's right.
Not to live in fear. Not to stay stuck. I don't care
That's
what
right.
time of my life it is. If I want to start something, I'm going to start it.
That's
I
right.
start it. And I ain't gonna
That's
let
right.
nothing stop me. And people gonna tell me, everybody gonna talk about it. This joke ain't got nothing because they understand and they ain't did it and they don't see it. Just like Jay-Z said one time. Even though I don't identify with Jay-Z, I don't like that everybody's being broke around them. I have to help them get on. But what I do like about that he said is that my uncle told me I ain't gonna never sell a million records. I sell a million records a million times because he won out on it and got the right teams, and even though he wasn't the one behind it all, but he had the right people. He put himself in position. He believed in it, but he dedicated, focused. But a door opened up. How can you
That's
know
right.
what greatness will come? It is people that go into situations when they try and they don't give 110% and they don't even realize it because the fear is still in the back of their mind. I got to make sure I get back to this job and make sure that's there. So when you ain't got nothing else left to do, you going to do it. I know people that went to the penitentiary like I did. I
That's
survived
right.
it. I made it work with 18 cents an hour slave labor.
That's
From
right.
8 cents to 18 cents. I made it. I was in shape. I was eating. I had snacks. I made whatever it is we called it. We used to call them those food things. We did whatever we had to do to survive in it. We get home,
That's right.
fear. You just came out of the belly of the beast. You just came out of the belly of the beast. What guy?
Right.
When
Right.
the guy was caught in the wheel, something. What was he caught in? Something. He was. Oh,
The
his wife.
well. Jonah.
Yeah, with
Jonah caught in the well for 3 days.
3 days. I was in the belly of the beast for almost 10 years. Then I was in the.
Mm.
Then who that got the lion and he got thrown into there with the lion. He came out the next day. He was cool.
Yeah. Daniel's in the lions then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel.
So when you're in the belly of the beast, you find a way to survive. You think that was you, so you go into life thinking that, oh, I got out because they let me out, or I got out because I got this gift because they let me do the gift. No, nobody does that but God. So
That's
that's what
right.
I do. That's what I do. That's what I do. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm over talking, but that's what I do.
That's what's up. What tell me about your 2 books you published.
Oh yeah, I got 2 books out, bestsellers on Amazon. I wanted to put something other than just entertainment out. I wanted to put philosophy books out. First one is called The Deprogramming of a Failure Mindset, and that one is about starting from scratch and changing your mindset and finding simple ways to accomplish a career. And it's a guideline book. It's called The Deprogramming of a Failure Mindset. And the other book is I wanted people to understand to break these cycles of enslavement and killing each other in the communities. It's called The Conditioning of Black Self-Destructing Behavior. The subtitle is Guilty by Default. That's another one we got out that I took time to make sure I do it because God says much is given, much is required. So I want to encourage people all kind of ways. I want to work to giving back. So that's the 2 ways that I wanted to write those books to give people encouraged to see a light. And then I also do a cookout every year, giving back. Um, I have an organization that I give back. I just started. I started for years ago. I was inspired by my mom. She passed in '08, and it was inspired by her before she passed. It's called her and my dad actually. They was married 54 years till she passed, and till he passed. And my organization is called CUP, Caring for Underprivileged People. And it's a way for me to give back. I ain't worried about donations. I just want proceeds and things that I can do, give back. We do a big cookout every year, try to make sure we feed hundreds and hundreds of people. Come out, don't need a day just to relax, eat some food, bring the kids, get on the swings. We buy the Penn Treaty Park out every year because that's where they used to bring the slaves in at. So I buy every permit out every year and do a big cookout out there. It's right on the Delaware River where they used to bring the slave ships in at. We do all those type things. I do all those type things to make sure I do it. But I can't think about it. If I think about it, I'll get up in the fear factor and be like, how I'm gonna do that? How I'm gonna say this? I move in faith. What God has for us, nobody can stop. If you believe that, then
That's right.
understand it. So yeah, I got 2 bestsellers on Amazon. So if you want the books again, it's Deprogramming of a Failure Mindset, philosophy book on business, and the other one is called The Conditioning of Black Self-Destructive Behavior. The subtitle is Guilty by Default, just in case you want to know.
Okay. Okay. Go into what does that mean? Guilty by default.
Okay. I mean, you ain't buying the book, that's for sure. So let's say that.
I got it already. I got
know.
both your books.
I know. I'm just messing with you. He found a bootleg place and got the books. I heard about you with the bootleg books. Okay, so no, I'm just joking. What I mean is, we're guilty by default. Well, the reason we're guilty by default in the things and the ways that we live is because of the conditions we come under. So the guilt that we have and getting caught up is, like if they started in the 60s and 70s, they started black people. It wasn't for black people to have welfare. So when they gave the welfare, what they did was they started going around and saying, "Okay, now we're getting you welfare, but you can't have a man in the home." So if I can't have a man in the home, you got kids that's disarray all over the place and coming up. Then drugs is flooding the communities, and then liquor stores on every corner. And then the only thing that you see a person where they prosper is people that's in the life of destruction, or like into selling poison and doing these things. There's nothing in our communities no more that do this. They took out of schools all the vocational training schools. There's no more vocational training. They used to have in there mechanics. I was going to take electronics one time. They had plumbing. They had all these things to teach you from a young age to give you a chance to go to somewhere. So we're guilty by default. When we fall victim to the things that are in our communities, we're guilty only because we're guilty by default, because it's not really a real decision for us. What it is for us is a decision, but it's an unfair advantage for us. So the decision you make, sometimes you get caught up, because the reason you get caught up in it is because of the lack of resources and opportunities for you to be anything, except for working in a McDonald's for whatever the lowest thing is you can work for. And for some people, they know they're worth more than that, so they want more than that. So if there's nobody going to say, "Okay, I give you a business plan and you give me the loan," and then you tell me I got a good business plan loan or whatever you say, but you don't have no collateral or no credit, I never get a chance to do it. So by default, we go into survival mode to make sure that we're going to accomplish some things. And then when you're young, you just haven't accumulated enough in your life to understand it. I understand it now that I do still have a choice or a way to make it on my own. It takes a lot more work, which is unfair, but so the conditions and the problems that I did in my life, myself, becoming a product of my environment. So we're guilty by default. If you're looking around in your community and there's drug needles always on the ground, or it's crack all over the place, and there's liquor stores and everything, then we're guilty by default. It's not like we have it. Realistically, they make sure, and this is no disrespect to nobody, because I'm not about downing other people, but it's facts is facts. In 1921, we had more money than anybody in the country, people of color. We had the biggest bus companies. We had the biggest theaters. We had the biggest stores. We had the biggest banks. We had the biggest airports. And look at your history. Then they came through and demolished it and took all those generational wealth that people were building together, because whatever the reason is. I ain't got to say a reason. I'm just telling you the facts. But we all should understand the reasoning for things. So everything that our people do, I feel like we're guilty by default because we don't
That's right.
have the access or resources everybody else so givingly free in front of you. So that's it.
That makes me think about another fact where across the United States, most prisons are predominantly us. And why? Are we the worst? I don't think so. However, laws that are created to basically almost trap us from the very beginning. When they let go slavery, they made things so we would get incarcerated over
Lord of the
stupid
Rings,
stuff.
Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, stupid
and
stuff.
Hitchcock. You didn't
We ain't
give us
got nothing. So
just let
what you
us go.
think?
What else we gonna
You
do?
know
So that's the way to
what
lock
we
you
go?
up,
Yeah,
and then keep
yeah.
you more again, pay you even less. Just feed you bread and water. Good
Right.
thing you know that. I didn't mean to cut you off. I got too excited.
No, but that's real, man. And
Loyalty and
but
vagrancy that came into law right after they let us go to make sure we ain't got nowhere to go. Oh, we got something for you. Ain't going back to slave master. Oh, we gonna lock you up then.
yeah,
That's a good
another
point. Good.
form of slavery, differently.
Ain't no
But
form. It is slavery. It tell you in the
yeah,
Constitution, 13th Amendment. It say slavery is abolished. It's only activated if you go to jail. It tell you. That's why
oh
they pay
wow,
you. It's in the Constitution, 13th Amendment. Read it. Jail's
wow,
abolished. It's only activated if you go to jail. That's activation slavery. We not looking at it as that. We're enemy of the
yeah,
country. We're
wow,
enslaved. Still today, every time
wow.
body is in there, you enslaved.
Yeah, well, that's
So
true.
yeah, we both learning more and
That's
more.
true.
Huh? So it
That's
is
true.
slavery. It ain't an act. It ain't a form of it. It is slavery. That's why you go and
Eh,
build all this money and all that, build all that stuff in there and get paid 8 cents. You paying me 8 cents to
eh,
pay
yeah,
for?
the work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a this was some time ago. I want to see if you're still involved in it. It's you were helping some of the youth with choreography on this thing called Wu Tang. It was a dance thing that they did, and it was basically out of control. But you you brought the youth in, and you was helping them, and so they
Yeah.
would
Let me
have a
explain.
different alternative.
Right. Let me explain how that was. Wu Tang had a very bad name on it because kids, somebody got killed. There was a couple of things going on, but what it wasn't that I was centered just on Wu Tang. I was centered on giving children a platform to do it professionally. To which comes. So what happened is Fox News, who I didn't want to do interviews with, always coming and looking for me. I heard they was looking for me all over the place. Rick Watts, because he worked with the youth and this, and they trying to do it. I'm sorry, Fox News, but it seemed like y'all had a reputation of making us look worse than what. So I was ignoring the
Right.
thing forever. So finally, somebody at one of the rec centers who I love dearly kept saying, "Look, just had an interview with them. Talk to him." So I talked to him. I said, "Look, I don't want to. If y'all want to do this, we have to make sure that we're not doing it. Our children are it's so much against us already. And now you want to put out an article or you want to do a national thing on dancing and make it bad. If you want the truth from it, make sure you share both sides of what we're saying. And yeah, you can watch that interview on YouTube. So I did it, and at the time I was working with a lot of dance groups in my showcases, and I wanted them to understand that um, Wu Tang is an art. But anything in our communities, because there's so much violence consumed in there, like of course it's not a coincidence why our communities is flooded with guns. We wondering how they get in there. But anyway,
That's right.
I
Right.
wanted to make a point of if I do this interview and talk about Wu Tang, and you can see it today. It's nationally on. There's a bunch of views on Rick Watson, Fox News. It's on my website. Um, if you RickWatsonProductions.com. But I wanted to when I did that interview, uh, to help clarify that you can't keep connecting to art the violence in an art with a race. Everything that gets done on the white race, no disrespect, they don't say a black white person did this. They say what the problem is. But when it comes to us, these young kids and the violence in it, and it's like you're exploiting the idea of it that helps marketed with people doing, just like it's not a coincidence. Grand Theft Auto was the #1 game for the youth, and all of them from that generation is doing the same thing the games was when they got in their 18s and 20s. They don't even realize how programmed they are. So I wanted to just do a thing when I was working with the youth on the programs of the showcases. I wanted to give the dance groups and the people that was, because a lot of people that were directing those youth were actually young themselves, just a little older, and was put together. And I was very proud of them because they were putting themselves in a position to create and to grow, you know, a business in a sense. So people could hire them and do dance groups and hire, and then they were teaching dance. So with the Wu Tang, I did it when I did it on Fox News. I talked about it because I wanted them to understand that the violence and stuff is not just coming because of Wu Tang; it's because of the conditions in our communities. Conditions in our communities is what make it happen. How do you think that somebody have a dance and because they're battling? That is that. I don't even know why that connection is being made. We broke dance back in the days when I was younger, and there wasn't no killing because there wasn't no guns around, probably. But when
Right.
something happens, that was off of an adult too that came because the kids were dancing. The kids were dancing. It's in my interview. I made sure it was clear, and thankfully Fox left it all in there. The kids were dancing, and one of the kids got hit in the thing when they were battling, and one felt something. One went and told another parent that that they got hit when they was doing that. The parent came around there to confront the mother came around there to confront the family about it, and they were saying they just kids. Like, what are you talking about? And why are you making it like a big thing? Ain't nobody this and that. And then the woman pulled out a gun, the one that came around there, and then shot the father and killed the father. The mother and
Wow.
father were both out there, and
That's sad.
they making it like it's the Wu Tang. It's not just the Wu Tang dance. It was a conditioning of a community that people were probably fed up or the mindset of whatever, but it was an adult that made a bad decision. It had nothing to do with the Wu
That's
Tang
right.
dance.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Moving forward, what movies have you had out, and how many well, not how many, but what's your next project?
Well, I have a lot of things lined up. I just got finished doing. I had a series going on. I was doing a lot of celebrities from their songs and turned them into plays. One of the first ones I did was the John Whitehead story from McFadden and Whitehead. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the
Yeah.
move. So I turned.
We're
I did
on
his
the move.
first wife's. I did his. This is what I'm going on doing now. His wife. I did her. Did his. Miss Eleanor Whitehead. I did her story through that and brought in the groups and all as a stage play production and had the Intruders and Blue Notes. People that John Whitehead had wrote for songs like I Always Love My Mama, songs like Wake Up Everybody, No More Sleeping. So
Yes.
I
Class.
did that play on that and it did really well. People loved it. I played John White. He actually starred in that one because they've been wanting me to act forever. And then people want me to keep acting. But I played that character, and then I did Orange Juice Jones song, a multi-platinum song called "Walking in the Rain." It's called "The Rain." I don't know if y'all remember that. If you old enough to remember,
Yep.
I saw you in him walking in. So I did
Yeah.
that, turned it into a play that we just toured a little bit, and then we just um, I just completed a couple films. One of the films is called "A Mother's Love." It's a crime drama. It takes place in a community with three different girlfriends from school, and that we premiered those in the AMC theater. Um, what else am I doing right now? I'm doing so much. I'm still touring some of my plays. We just toured a play we had called "Men Lie Too Much, Women Lie Too Good." There's a play that we took through
Mm.
the South, and
Okay.
I'm in the position now of doing a couple of intimate dinner theater plays. One is called "Mama Don't Take No Mess," and what's the other one called? I got so many projects going on. I just did a play called "Your Girlfriend Need to Mind Her Business." So I write those controversial plays, but I want to make sure it's messages in everybody for relationships and everything, just to get an opportunity to have fun and educate an idea of a good relationship through different things or whatever the topic is of each situation. But those are some of the things I have going on. Yeah.
That's right. So, for the fans and for everybody that's watching, how can they get a copy of your movies, your plays, that they can sit home in their own environment, watch it, get some popcorn or whatever in the family, and just enjoy your work?
Well, first, I don't want them to go to the bootlegger named Sean, man, and get the stuff. Because I heard I got bootleg everything. I ain't got a receipt from nothing he bought from.
Wow.
Now I'm only having fun. That's my brother, so I gotta mess with him.
Okay.
But the ways that you can see some of my work and all, and see what's coming up, things like that. If you go to my website, rickwatsonproductions.com, that's my website. It tells you all the information on how to see things, get everything. But one of the ways you can go in there and see all the events that's be coming up under my events page, and then also I have a streaming channel. If you like to go and watch stuff for now, because everybody's streaming now. We still have DVDs that sometimes are made by order if people want to see it. So you can go on my website and preview all the trailers for mostly all my work. Again, it's rickwatsonproductions.com. We have a trailer page with all the preview trailers on it, and then you can go to my streaming channel, download the app for free. It's called Philadelphia. That's Philadelphia without the PH. Philadelphia Radio TV. Download that for free on anything, on your phone, on your computers, on your TVs, anything. You can just go to App Store and get it, and then you can subscribe to see my work on there. You can see some free things, but you can subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, you can preview a lot of the works that I have out. And if y'all can, definitely go and support it, because still always trying to raise money to keep productions going. So if you can, check it out that way. So that's the best way to do it.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much for your time. I thank you for your energy. I thank you for your insight, and I thank God for placing you in my life, in my circle, because I tell you, every time I feel like I ain't where I need to be, I call you, and it get me back on track a little bit and let me move a little differently. And I just thank you for all you have done.
I appreciate that. Sean is like Sean, and I say this with my heart, and I say it in front of everybody. I love my brother, and what I want my brother to do is love his craft more, because you're actually a genius. You're one of the guys one of the greatest poets I know ever, and that's not just cap or giving you your love. It's just giving you love because I listen to you and I watch your stuff and I be like, wow, what can he do next to do whatever? Then you always, any business you ever went to, they want you to manage and supervise and run for them, because you're one of the greatest managers I ever known. Like, as far as your work ethic and what you put in on stuff. That's why I push you so hard sometimes to get your own. Like, look, Sean, stop working for them
That's right.
people. Do your own thing. But that's okay, because you're a family man, and you married, and you got children, and you want to make sure that they eat. And so I understand the fear, that factor that you're in sometimes. I just be wanting you to get away from that fear factor and push your goddamn brand, because me personally, I believe you would be big as anything. The money ain't there, so
Yeah,
the money you got, make it work. Find a way to make it
that's
work.
right.
But I appreciate you saying that I do encourage you. But man, I want you to know that I actually honor you, and I appreciate you, because you're one of the guys, even when I was incarcerated, that first sat down with, that pushed me to doing Bible study so much, that you opened up doors for me and lanes for me, because I always watched you working with no fear. Like, you're going to get it. God is this is that. You're one of the guys that motivated me as much as I motivate you. So all I do is reciprocate what you give me. I'm giving it back to you, brother, because you are a king, and you deserve a lot more than the position you're in. So just keep figuring it out, brother, and keep pushing.
Amen.
That's it.
Thank you very much. I done got emotional.
I
All
know
right,
you done
be
got
blessed.
emotional. I said, what in the world? But that's good though. That
All
mean
right.
God talking to you. That's God. That ain't me.
Yeah,
God
right.
talking to you.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much. You have a good
Yeah,
one,
well,
brother.
you
Till
be
next
blessed,
time.
man. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bloodline streamed as hard as it seems. Royalty. Royalty was your reality, a normality that blasphemes today. For at any moment, a stray may ricochet and kill your kin. No longer are you the preeminent wonder of the world, for kings have been fooled, schooled, and now ruled.
We all live different lives, we all got different goals. Life is all about choices, gotta pick and roll. Can't go forever tricking hoes off of flipping those. Follow me, get superstitious like you split the pole. First you was hot on the trail, now it's getting cold.